Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, my dear students of grade 10 in At-Tamayuz School. In this video, inshallah, we are going to discuss Unit 2, more specifically Lesson 4 and 5. But first, let's begin with Lesson 4, which is about Islamic art. Islamic art or Islamic art, it's a very important topic in our unit, which is about, in general, it's about culture. So we have to discuss the Islamic art. And first, we have to begin with some new words. The first one we have today is called calligraphy. It's a kind of the Islamic art. It's called calligraphy. It's a noun, of course. So this is our first word. Repeat after me. Calligraphy. Calligraphy. It's a noun. The word number 2, consistently. Consistently. The word consistently is an adverb. It means happening without any change, without being varied or changed. So it is consistently. Word number 3, diverse. We studied the word diversity in lesson 1. Now we studied the adjective diverse, I mean varied or different, so it is called diverse. Word number 4, inspirational. Inspirational, it's an adjective also. So when I say something inspirational, it means it inspires me, it encourages me, to do something. So inspirational, it's an adjective. Next, if you master something, it's a verb. You do it effectively. You are very good at this thing, so you master it. So if you master English, you are very good at English. If you master football, so you are very good at football. So it's it's a verb. The last one, if you can see this picture, out here we have the mountain is richly colored. So we have so many colors in this mountain, so it is richly colored. Richly, it's an adverb from the word rich, so it is full of something. These are the words again. We're going to discuss them in details, but first let's repeat the words together. Calligraphy, consistently, diverse, inspirational, master, richly. Master and richly. So here when I say the Islamic art refers not only to religion but to the diverse Islamic culture as well. So when I say something is diverse, it means varied and it has different things. So diverse. Diverse means including many different types of things. Including many different types of things. Calligraphy, of course, it's one of the Islamic arts. It's a kind of the Islamic arts. This word is called calligraphy. So you can see so many forms of calligraphy. You can see in the mosques. If you go to pray in the mosque, you can see a lot of Islamic words or Arabic words, but written in a neat way or in an artistic way. So this is called calligraphy. The art of producing beautiful writing, often created with a special pen or a brush. So this is called calligraphy. Richly, I mean it is having or it has so many things of something, so it is richly decorated. When I say the mosque is richly decorated. Inspirational, when I say Islamic art has been inspirational to many other artists throughout the world. So inspirational, it makes you feel full of hope or encouraged. So as I said before, if something is inspirational to me, it means it encourages me. The last one, which is consistently, if something is being produced consistently, it means without being varied, without being changed. Okay, so in a way that doesn't change in a way that doesn't vary, so it happens consistently. Islamic art has been consistently produced since the 7th century. So continually or without being changed. Master, here we have two persons that are mastering calligraphy. They are very good at something, so they are very good at something, they do something perfectly, more effectively. Okay, so calligrapher master the Islamic art. Now go to page 20 in your student's book. We have 4 exercises. We are going to answer these 4 exercises together. So let's start. Of course, in this lesson, we have a grammar lesson. We have 2 rules. You have studied before something called present perfect. Okay, you have, or you can find more details about the present perfect in your student's book, pages 125 and 126. So this is a reference page for you. But now let's have a look at present perfect. When I describe the past and the present experiences, this is called present perfect. Also, we are going to study more about prepositions, but in the end of the video, inshallah. Present perfect, when I say present perfect, so it has a form. We have to know its form in the statement, its form in a question, and in a negative form. Okay, so we use the present perfect with the verb have. Have with plural subjects, and has with singular subjects. So when I say I have, you have, but you can say she has, he has. Okay, so the verb have plus past participle. Past participle, you have studied before that past participle is a verb with ed. So it can say learned, studied, played, cleaned, or it can be a regular like bought, written, broken, stolen, and so on. This is called have or has plus the past participle. So when I say he has, it's correct. I can never say he have because he is singular. He has give or given. No, we need the past participle verb or form number 3 of the verb. So given, not give. He has given concerts all over the world. If you want the question from this sentence or statement, you can make inversion like have you ever won a competition? Not you have, it's have you ever won a competition? And the negative, it's very easy, of course, when I say haven't and hasn't also. Haven't met, he hasn't met, we haven't met a famous person. Let's have a look at the present perfect one more time. I have decided, or you have decided. We have finished, you have lost, and so on. But with singular subjects like he, she, or it, use has. So she has finished, it has gone, he has lost. So this is the form. How do we know the present perfect? Of course, we have some words. We can say they are very important words that can help you identify the present perfect. Already, just, never, and recently. Already, just, never, and recently. And later, inshallah, in the workbook, in lesson 6, we are going to study more 2 words, which are since and for. Since and for. But today, focus on already, just, never, and recently. How can we make sentences using this one? They have just arrived at home. They have just arrived at home. So be careful, where is the location of the adverb just? It's after have, not before. I cannot say they just have. No, it's they have just. Or he has already passed his driving test. Or we have recently traveled to Dubai. So these are words that tell me that I'm using the present perfect. Never is usually used to make negative. So use never to say that we have not done something at any time. So when I say I have never played a musical instrument, yani never before, not at any time that you played a musical instrument. Okay, ever means at any time in your past life, usually in a question. So when I say ever, usually in a question, have you ever swum in the sea? Have you ever eaten sushi? Have you ever driven a car? And so on. Have you ever played a musical instrument? So usually in a question. Yet, it's one of the most important, usually in the end of the sentence, in the end of a negative statement. So when you make negative, use yet in the end. I haven't visited my grandmother yet. The last word. I haven't visited my grandmother yet. So this is briefly the present perfect. Here in exercise 1, we have 4 sentences taken from the article on page 90. We have to show, or you have to tell me, what is the difference between sentence 1 and the other 3 sentences, which are 2, 3, and 4. 1 is totally different from 2, 3, and 4. Take your time, think about the difference. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that's enough. Here we have to check the answers together. Have a look at the word met, which is underlined. It is read here. It is underlined. Okay. On the 12th of November 2008, world leaders met in New York. Here in this sentence, we have, or we are describing what happened and when it happened. Here we have the date. Okay, 12th November 2008. So you have to use the past simple, not the present perfect. No need to use has or have, just present, past simple. So what happened and when it happened. But in sentence 2, 3, and 4, we can see the form is totally different. We have has and have. They have suggested, Kuwait has organized, Kuwait has sponsored. So here we have only describing what happened, and the time of sentence, or the time when sentences happened, are not or is not mentioned. There is no time mentioned in the sentences. Okay, so this is simply the difference between the sentences. Here also in exercise 2, we can use present perfect to say how long someone has done something. How long. So if you say, or if you talk about the length of time, so use the present perfect. If you are talking about a particular time, which is sentence B, particular time, so it is past simple. Okay. Okay, so I am talking about length of time. I'm talking about particular time. Length of time, use the present perfect, like Islamic art has been consistently produced since at least the 7th century. Okay, since at least the 7th century. So this is length of time. Since the 7th century until now, it is being used. But if I talk about a particular time, so I can say you can find out more information about Islamic art at this week. So I'm talking about a particular time. So this is all about present perfect. Now let's move to another thing, which is about prepositions. We have prepositions in general. You have to know them in, on, and at as prepositions of time. And more specifically, you have to know on also these words on, amongst, in, for, of, with, at, and by. In grammar reference, page 126, you can find more about prepositions, more specifically these prepositions. Okay, prepositions. We have a lot of prepositions in English that have several functions. Different prepositions that can act differently from each other. Okay, but sometimes they have similar uses. So it's very important to say on Monday, not in Monday. It's very important to say in the morning, not at the morning. It's very important to say at night, not in night. So you have to memorize such prepositions. Many nouns, verbs, and adjectives are used with prepositions. So memorize this phrase, the reason for cancer, the reason for our loss, the reason for success. So the reason for. To arrive, use always at, arrive at. Okay, arrive at. If you are angry, so you are angry with someone, not angry from. I'm angry with you, not I'm angry from you. You are on a bus, not at a bus, you are on a bus. So memorize this phrase. Here is a picture of prepositions of time and place, but more specifically about time: in the morning, in the afternoon, in the summer, in 1980, in the 90s, in the 17th century, in the Easter holiday. Have a look at on in the middle. Days, of course, on Monday, Saturday, Wednesday, and so on. Dates: on the 1st October 2013, on my birthday, and so on. At, usually with the more specific time, at 8 o'clock, at 8 a.m., p.m., and so on. At night, at noon, at midday, at dawn, at Easter, at Christmas. So these are prepositions of time. You have to memorize them because later we have to answer some exercises about this rule. Next, exercise number 4, we have to complete these sentences with the correct prepositions. Have a look quickly, then I'll be back to you. Okay, that's enough. Let's start with the first one. When I say that 12th November 2008, it's a date. So when I use a date, of course, it's on. Always use on with dates. World leaders met New York. New York is a city, so of course we met, or they met in New York. What is the reason? The reason, of course, for a UN General Assembly, like a meeting. Okay, General Assembly. On, about what, or on what? Culture of peace. This is said or pronounced of, not of peace. Kuwait took part in. Remember this, take part in. Took part in the meeting. Next, the end of the conference. Who can tell me? Is it on the end or at the end? Of course, it is at the end of the conference. His Highness the Amir Kuwait of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, has met. Of course, you meet with, okay? You meet with people. So he met with numerous world leaders in order to, you studied this one in grade 8, in order to raise awareness of respect and understanding. I cannot say between citizens, between only two, between Hani and Ahmed, between you and me. But if we talk about a group of people, so it is amongst Kuwaiti citizens, amongst Kuwaiti citizens. In exercise B, or sentence B, we have difference, of course, in meaning. Each preposition has a different meaning. So on refers to time. or date, in talking about place, for purpose or reason, on topic, I am talking on this topic or about this topic, of belonging between two entities, and so on. In refers to involvement at time with accompaniment. To, of course, introduces an infinitive verb amongst involvement of most or all members of a group. Okay, so between two, or between two, but amongst a group of people. So this is about lesson 4. Let's go directly to page 21 in your book, students' book, page 21, lesson 5. Here we have some differences between these two words. We have the word hear and the word listen. These verbs, these senses are totally different, of course. It's one sense, I mean, but different in usage. We use it differently. So if you hear something, it is accidental. It is not in purpose. Effortless. You don't make an effort when you hear something. But when you listen, you intend to hear it. I listen to the teacher, not I hear the teacher. I am focused with the teacher. It's not accidental that I hear the teacher. No, I listen to the teacher. So hear and listen are totally different. So when I say listen, of course, you listen to music, you listen to the Quran, you listen to your teacher, you listen to the imam of the masjid, and so on. So this is called listening. You pay attention when you hear something. But hearing, accidental action, it is not intended. You do it without focusing. When the sound comes to your ears, so you hear a loud noise, you hear an explosion, okay? You hear something different. So did you hear that noise? It's of course a passive action, not intended action, okay? So make sure you know the difference between listen, you make an effort when you hear something, but here it is accidental. It doesn't happen with intention. You don't intend to listen. So let's have a look also at this exercise. Exercise number 1, we already discussed the difference between listen and hear. We have receiving a sound, it is listen or hear. Okay, paying attention to a sound, is it listen or hear? So of course it's very different, because when I receive a sound, it's hear, but when I pay attention, I listen to. I listen to. Let's answer this exercise in your page, in your book. Exercise B, complete these people's words with the correct form of hear or listen to. So let's have a look, then I'll be back. Think, please try to think, because we are going to answer this now. That's enough here. Let's check the answers together. We have the first one. When I say turn the TV down, I can't hear you or I can't listen to you. Okay, turn the TV down, because the process of hearing you is not okay, so I can't hear you. When I talk to the teacher, we say I can't hear you, not I can't listen to you. Are you hearing me or are you listening to me? Of course, listening to me. Are you listening to me? Did you what I said? Did you hear what I said? I always the 9 o'clock news, of course, on TV, so you listen to, because you are focusing on something, you are giving attention or paying attention to something, so you are listening to something. Listen, it's capital L, of course. Did you hear that strange noise? The noise, it is, of course, we can say not intended, so it is here. The last one, I love listening to music, I love listening to Quran, and so on. So listen to, you pay attention to something. The same with see, look, and watch. See, look, and watch. And later you are going to watch a video about this, inshallah. After a minute, you are going to watch a video about the difference between see, look, and watch. Here we have an exercise, of course, about the difference between these three words, look at, watch, or see. Take your time, think about the answers, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that's enough. Sentence A, when I say those people over there, what are they doing? So I'm talking to you. Look at or listen, look at or see or watch. Of course, look at those people over there. Look at those people over there. I can't very well without glasses. I'm talking about the sense of seeing. So I can't see. I can't see. The police, their job is to watch a house. So they are watching a house in our street. If you, my mother, my brother, tell him I'll phone him tomorrow. If you see my brother, tell him I'll phone him tomorrow. You shouldn't, the sun, it can damage your eyes. You shouldn't look at the sun. It's on purpose, intended action. Looking at is an intended action. Don't look directly at the sun. The same is also say, tell, and speak. Say, tell, and speak. We have also some differences between or amongst them. Say, tell, and speak, they are totally different. Have a look, and then I'll be back. Okay, that's enough. When I say Walid, this is number one. Walid, what did Badr say, or what did Badr tell, or what did Badr speak? Of course, what did Badr say? He said in the past, he is learning to English. English is a language, so we speak languages. Speak languages. Walid, she used to live in Kuwait City. Walid says she used to live in Kuwait City. Is that true? Is that true? Yes, of course. She never lies. Stories and lies and so on, we can use tell. So you tell a lie, you tell a story. So he never tells or she never tells lies. Walid, sentence C. Walid, hello, this is Walid. Can I speak to Omar or talk to Omar or say to Omar? On the phone, we use speak to. I'd like to speak to Omar, please. I'm sorry he's out. I will or I'll him you phoned. So I will tell him, I'll tell him that you phoned. The last one, can you that again, please? Can you say that again, please? Repeating the action is about saying. Can you say that again? The problem is everyone in the room at the same time is speaking at the same time. I couldn't hear you because everyone is speaking at the same time. So this is very important. We have studied the difference between listen and hear, say, tell, and speak, look, see, and watch. Look, see, and watch. Okay. Before we end our lesson, let me make sure that you know something called forms or kinds of Islamic art. Let's have a look at this. It's very important. Who can tell me the different forms or the different kinds of Islamic art? We already studied one of them as an active word, which is calligraphy. Okay, so you have to know them. Okay, so what are they again? Islamic architecture. You can see it in mosques and old buildings. Also, calligraphy, the neat writing. This is called calligraphy, artistic writing, and the last one, literature, I mean stories, novels, poems, and everything about literature. It is related to Islamic art. So this is the end of our video and the end of our lesson today. Thank you very much. Inshallah, see you in next lessons. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.